James Patrick, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
You
Cam.
sexy motherfucker.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, man. How are you?
Good. Came in. Just got a job. So,
Tell me about it. What have you got?
so I'm a doorman on the Upper West Side. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be working for rich people, so it's gonna be nice.
Nice.
Making a little money because comedy don't make you any money. It takes money. That's
Not
the
yet.
only thing it does. Yeah, exactly. Maybe like 25 years down the road, I'll get something.
It's going to come. We've got some friends that are dropping by and they're running around being dickheads. Oh, they're dropping
Yeah.
by. Now, fuck these boys. So for those who don't know what a doorman is, because
Yep.
people who aren't in New York will not know what that is.
Yeah.
Explain it.
So basically what we do is, I'm working in a luxury building. So there's two different types. There's a luxury building and hotels. So they wear like the hats and stuff, all fancy. We just wear suits, open the door for people, close the door, get packages, really boring stuff. But that's about it. Yeah, and let people up. Because in those luxury buildings, you'll just have random people walking in and being like, oh, can we just look around? You'll be like, no, this is for residents only. So that's how it is.
Yeah. I think it's cool as shit. Like when you see the doormen here, and they're always really nice. And they can get paid some pretty damn good money.
During holidays, I know some people in luxury buildings where they'll make like 50 grand off of just holidays. And that's where they make all their income. It's
Wow.
insane.
And
Yeah.
is that mostly tips?
Yeah. Because you got to think, if let's say there's 300 units in a building and they have to tip. So what? They're rich, so they're probably going to tip like 400 or 500 per person.
Jesus.
Yeah. And those apartments?
Per person?
Yeah.
Oh, so they will individually give a doorman. So if there's like 5 doormen, they'll each give them $400 or $500.
Yeah. But the thing with being a doorman, it's dead end, right? Because if you're, let's say, a handyman in the building, which they fix the building with the super, and they do that, they can move up to a super and make more money. But once you're a doorman, you're stuck being a doorman. So that's it.
There's nowhere to go.
Really, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Would you want to do the super role, like the handyman?
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be good. Those
Yeah.
like little maintenance jobs. So would you would essentially have like a little office with some tools and stuff in the building? And
Exactly. Yeah, and they also make more money than the doorman because they're dealing directly with the people who live in the apartments. So they'll like be trusted with the owner's apartments.
how do they charge themselves out for little jobs? Like how does it work if there's a maintenance guy in the building who works for the building?
Yeah, so it depends on what the job is. If it's, let's say, because what you can do as a handyman, you could say, all right, you could get this fixed, but it's not going to be covered by the building. I could do it, or you could have a third party do it. And usually when it's just done by the handyman, it's cheaper. But that's like on the low. So
Gotcha.
Yeah,
He'll like just swing a little bit of cash under the. Yeah, gotcha.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
mate.
Thank you. I appreciate
Big
it.
time. I mean, you've been sort of bumming around for the last
Oh,
3 months, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been bumming around for 6 months now, so yeah, it's kind of fun though.
oh yeah. I mean, doing like 7 mics in one day, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just everything is comedy.
Yeah, it'll never be like this again.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, although you can get some traction on the weekends, I suppose. Because you're working Monday to Friday, aren't you?
Yeah, Monday through Friday. So
Yeah.
it's not a big gig. 7 to 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. Well, congratulations again, man.
Thank you.
Really big effort, and good job. I've said to Mel plenty of times, I'm like, I would do that. Like it's it seems like it's a pretty good gig.
Yeah. I mean, when your papers are good, I could help you out. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. So, man, how's your comedy journey going? You're fucking getting better.
Thank you,
a
man.
lot better,
I
quickly
appreciate
too. Your comfortability on stage, like the way you just sit there, like even if things aren't going that well, you just sit there and sit in it, and you're cool with it. But most of the time, things are going really well now, and you're just like getting laughs and linking bits up from that you used to have to new bits. It's awesome. It's been good to see you.
Definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Same to you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I think a lot of it, just with starting out, is just the amount of mics you do. Because for me, at least, I never did like theater or any of that other stuff. So just being able to talk in front of people, that was like the most difficult part for me. Like I knew I had some sort of funny in me, you know, but that was like the biggest get up and the biggest struggle was just being able to have that nerve to talk in front of people and wait for a punchline and not just running straight through it because I was too nervous to listen to their laughter, you know. I was wondering, do you remember like the first time you ever did an open mic?
Yeah. Yeah, that was at home in Australia. Yeah, I do. I do remember it well, actually. I sucked.
Do you remember anything from it?
Yeah, I do. I do remember. It was I wrote a script and I did it and I did okay, but I was just like basically telling a story. There was no punchlines. There was nothing really well thought out. I got some laughs, but it wasn't amazing. Yeah, what about you? Which was your first one?
So I remember it was at a Broadway Comedy Club, and it was with Janice Massetti. And for those of you who don't know Janice heckles in the back of her room during her mic. It's not like any other mic. Wow. I mean, I love her to death. She's insane. Yeah. She's literally insane. She's insane. And I was so nervous. Literally, like I have tremors in my hands usually. I was shaking. My whole body was shaking before I went up. And I went up, I did about 2.5 minutes. And then I heard her in the back of the room go, "Oh God," to my material.
No.
Yes. Yes. And then I was like, all right, it's been James Patrick. And then I left.
Really?
Yeah.
She unnerved you.
Yeah. Yeah. And for reference, she's like a 4'8" Puerto Rican Italian woman, you know?
She's feisty.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've done some mics there. I've never heard her heckle anyone. She was always pretty quiet when I was there.
Sometimes you'll get lucky and she'll be quiet, but there's other days where she's on everyone.
Do you think it's like, is she on drugs or something?
No, not. That's just how she is.
Okay.
It's always how she's been. My mom did stand up. Same exact way, like 7-8 years ago. Same exact way.
Your mum was doing stand up.
Yeah. My mom did stand up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Has she stopped?
Yeah. So what happened was I went into high school and just like things, I had a lot. She had to deal with me basically, and she was like, "All right, let me stop doing stand up and take care of my kid," because I used to get in big trouble all the time in high school. You know, I was class clown in the back of the room, just shit talking the whole time. You know, getting detention a lot, and she stopped doing it. But she did it for like 3 or 4 years. And that's one of the things that made me do stand-up was she told me to start doing it.
Really?
Yeah, because she was like, she couldn't do it. So she was like, I want you to continue it for me, which is something that like I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't stop.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want to now anyway, would you?
No, definitely. I can't.
Yeah.
It's a drug. It's the best drug.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is. So you were the naughty kid in school.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, I wasn't horrendous, but I got into a lot of trouble. A lot of just small trouble every day.
Yeah.
Lots of detentions, lots of getting sent outside, lots of being told to shut up. Many times. Yeah. So you were obviously very similar.
And I would always do stuff to where you would have the teachers would have to write a slip on what you said to go to detention. So I would always say like a stupid word and I would just say it, repeat it. Like we were learning about Native Americans and one of the lands they built was called Tippecanoe. And I was like, that's so stupid. I mean, like, could you come up with something better, Tippecanoe? And then I just kept banging on that. And then they had to write on the slip of paper, tip a canoe. And I was like, yes, that's what I was working for this whole time.
You were fucking with them.
Yes, big time.
You planned it, you
Yeah.
set it up, and you executed it.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
What was the worst trouble you got in at school?
Oh, fights, definitely.
Like physical?
Yeah, they were like, I didn't fight. All right, hold on. I didn't punch her. Don't do that. It was with my ex-girlfriend in high school, and we were very toxic. She was the first girl I ever had sex with, right? And then after that, she was like, oh, I'm pregnant. 2 months after.
No.
Yes, she was like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, no fucking way. I was like 15 or 16. I didn't know what to do.
You would have had a meltdown.
I know. And then she told her parents, and somehow her parents got to my mom and my dad. First time ever having sex, and that's what happened to me. And then to find out, the baby was 5 months. I had sex with her 3 months before that. So it was someone else's kid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
So how did this... Okay,
yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah.
Because this is a wild story.
Yeah.
How did you go from... Like, how was your parents' reaction, firstly? Because I just, like, were they disappointed? Like, tell me your parents' reaction. And then how did you then find out it was not yours?
So what happened was her parents reached out to my parents.
Uh-huh.
And then it was like a sit down with my whole family, which is horrible because my dad and my mom are both divorced, and they didn't speak to each other for like 3 years. And me having sex for the first time brought them together. It was the most embarrassing moment in my life. And my dad, he gave me a high five first. No, he asked me, he was like, so you had sex with this girl? I was like, yeah. He was like, did you wear a condom? I was like, no. And then he was like, did you come in her? I was like, I did. And
did you not know better, or were you just drunk in the moment?
I was just too stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
I was just because there were so many nerves. Like I snuck into her place. You know, we had to be quiet, keep the lights off, and all this shit. Be quiet. It's
just too many things.
Exactly.
Too much stimuli for your 15-year-old
Exactly.
brain.
I was just worried about where to put it. You know, that's what I was worried about.
How am I going to find this thing?
Yeah. How do I? Yeah. Yeah. But then we had a and one of the things, she brought like a copy of the sonogram. Or of the baby.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like to me.
No.
And then that fucked me up. Like bad. And then I had to bring it back to her parents and give it. It was so weird. It was so weird. Yeah.
So, turns out she's a little bit of a town bicycle and was already fucking around.
Yeah. So what happened was the guy she had sex with was 19. He was a super senior in that high school. So super senior's like someone that keeps getting dropped back. And he was just there. And she had sex with him, but then she put it on me so they wouldn't get in trouble legally. Yeah.
So she pretty much framed you.
Yes.
And she used you to scapegoat this guy. So she must have known she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know, there was someone dumber in that room when you were fucking her that night. Her.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so did she keep the baby?
No. Clean it out.
At 5 months.
Yeah. Wow. Yep.
Well, that guy would have gone to jail.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it would not look like me. The guy was not white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That would have been so funny.
I know.
If she had have framed you, and then at the birth, a black child came out.
I know. Well, she was black. So it came out mixed.
Okay, right.
So, the baby would have been full
Yeah.
African American.
You would have known at that point, surely. Actually, maybe
Yeah.
not.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
There's got to be some features of a white guy.
He's got to be diluted a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My parents, I didn't even want to imagine what they would have done. They would have fucking killed me.
I know.
Man, my dad caught me having sex with a girl when I was like 16.
Oh.
And he took my door off my hinge.
No.
Took the door off the hinge, hid it somewhere in the back shed. I didn't have a door for like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And so that was like...
But why did he? I don't know.
I don't know why he cared so much. I think because I had sisters, he didn't want to...
Perpetuate that.
Didn't want to say like, well, if it's okay for him to have a girl over, it's okay for them to have a boy over. But he didn't have to tell anyone.
Yeah,
He could have just been like, high five, boy. Well done.
Yeah.
I always wondered that. I wondered why he never did. He never was like, we had to sit down and chat like, kind of proud of you, but I've just got to make it look like aesthetically that no one else can do this. I'd be like, yeah, all right, Dad, whatever. It'll be our secret.
Yeah.
But it was just like, no, this is bad. You can't do this, but whatever. You got to, who knows what I'll be like in that situation when the time comes.
Yeah, I think maybe it's also like, because that's your kid, right? So that's got to be just weird.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah.
Growing up, seeing your kid grow up and then he has sex, it's weird.
It's got to be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be weird. Have you got siblings?
I do.
Yeah?
One little sister. She's 9 years younger than me.
Holy shit.
Yep.
You wouldn't even know her.
I know. I don't like that well. I know.
God damn. So she would still be at school now?
Yep. She's in 6th grade,
okay.
5th grade.
Holy shit, man.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, let's hope she doesn't have the same trouble as you've had.
I know. She's going to be a trouble child. She's so smart and like so educated and so tight about homework and all this stuff. And I'm like, high school is going to come around and it's going to be a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Because I was trouble and I was horrible in school. And I expect that blood is somewhere in her,
That's crazy.
Yeah. She's my half sister. She's bipolar, my sister, So my father married a woman from Chicago and they had a kid when I was like 9 years old.
Right.
They got married. So this is a funny story as well. Both my parents got married to other people at the same exact time.
Wow.
Yeah. And then as soon as they got married, they were like, oh, also, Anna, your stepmom is pregnant. And that was like so much for me at the time. As a 9-year-old, I was not able to handle that.
Why? Was it just jealousy? What was it?
I don't know. I just thought I was going to be like an only kid. Always. That's always how I thought of it. And then, then bringing another kid into the world, I would have to spend every other weekend with my father and having a baby. I would be staying up all night because the baby would be crying all night. Yeah.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah. One day it'll be us, though.
I know. Oh, God.
It'll be me before you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's
if it's
hope so.
me, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. It's not good.
Wear a condom.
Yeah.
Don't be a dickhead.
I know.
Oh, God. And I just want to go back. So that guy that impregnated your ex-girlfriend,
yeah,
you said he was like a senior.
Yeah, super senior.
Okay, I've never heard of that term. Is that an American thing? Like, can you just keep doing your final year until you pass?
No, he was getting dropped back because he kept failing classes.
But how many times can they keep dropping him back? Like, can he be 25 and still be in school?
I think it's like 22.
And the cutoff's 22.
I think so.
You haven't done it by then, you're done.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be so weird though, being 22 with like 15, 16-year-olds.
Yeah. But I went to a special ed school for like people who are slow. I went there because I was supposed to go to Severian, which is in Bay Ridge. It's like one of the best schools in the city. And then they didn't have enough seats for me for it. And then my therapist, or my psychiatrist. So I have ADHD. So I have a learning disability. So he said, oh, this is actually a better school for you. There were like 400 kids there. That's it.
Wow.
I went from a middle school where there were 3,000, 4,000 kids to that school.
Wow.
And so that's the thing. Going into that type of school, everyone knows your shit. Everyone knows your shit. Who you hooked up with, whatever. Who you have beef with. And that's the bad part about being like in such a small school like that. And so we had people with severe learning disabilities. Like I was in one of the classes where it was easy, you know? It was a lot easier for me. But most of the kids just had ADHD, ADD, some autism, not like full spectrum.
Yeah.
But they were on the spectrum. And you had the kids who had severe learning disabilities would be in the school for years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank fuck you're not there anymore.
I know. Thank God.
Yeah, school's a tough time, man.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved school, but there was so many things I did not like about it. As much as the structure, you realize how good structure and stuff is now, but like having to go to school every day, I was like, fuck this.
I know.
And I always just wanted to like be not there.
Yeah.
I wished the time away, but now in hindsight, it actually was actually a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
It was easy. It was fun, social.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what do you do outside of comedy? Do you have any things that you're interested in?
Oh, baseball.
Oh, really?
Love baseball.
What's your team?
Mets.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a game yet.
Oh, I got season tickets. Well, my father has season tickets.
I'd love to go.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah, man.
100%.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard it's really good to watch live.
Yeah. Yeah. But the only thing is, so now they put in it's a pitching clock.
Mm-hmm.
So the pitcher has to release the ball within like 15 seconds. Where before, the games would be stretched out to like 4 hours, 3.5 hours. Now the games are 2.5 hours.
That's good.
But the thing about baseball is when you're at a game, it's there for just to chill out. And then when you have that sped up thing, you have to be in your seat for every pitch. I don't really like that.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
What's the general consensus? Do people prefer how it is now? Or people probably prefer watching it on TV when it's sped up, I would imagine.
Definitely, yeah. But when you're at the game, it's different because you're just hanging out. It's a hangout. There's bars upstairs. You're just chilling out at the bar. Watch the game at the bar in the stadium. It's so weird, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, and just walk around the stadium. But now it's like, all right, you have to be there early, be in your seat, get all your food, be there on time because you're gonna miss something. You're gonna miss the first inning.
Yeah.
If you're not there within 15 minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah, it's like Citi Field, the Met Stadium is one of the best stadiums I've been to because I've been to a few. Yeah.
They don't have baseball on at this time of year, do they?
No. It starts in April.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so you got into comedy because your mum told you to, or said basically you should do this.
Yeah.
And then what was your first time was the one you explained before? Was that your first time at Broadway?
So I did a class with Ben Rosenfeld.
Nice. I like Ben.
Yeah, he's really
with the
funny.
cellar? Through the cellar?
No, I did it with it was St. Mark's.
Oh.
So it used to be Caroline's. And then when Caroline's fell through, they switched it to St. Mark's. And now they're at Comedy Village. I was just at they had a holiday party yesterday, and I was talking to him, and he said now they switched over to Comedy Village. But yeah.
So that's Caroline's.
Yeah, it used to be Caroline's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the boys that own St. Mark's, they haven't owned it for that long then?
I think like 6 or 7 years.
Right.
A little while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Which is funny. I love that club so much, but before I started doing stand-up, I would hang out at St. Mark's all the time, and I'd be like, who the fuck wants to go see a comedy show on St. Mark's? And then now I'm eating my words because I love that club so much.
I love it. Yeah. I've done 4 spots there in the last week. I've been doing some barking for them,
Nice.
and
Awesome.
I'm really enjoying that club.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And the hangout there is so much fun. All the
Yeah.
people there are great.
Yeah, everyone there is really good. Alexi and Danny, they're fucking great.
Yeah.
And even if it's like all the shows that I've done have been small, like max, I think the most was 20. Then the other one, there was like 2 at like around 10 people and 1 at 5 people audience. Still all great. Even the 5-person audience was still really fun.
We had about 8 people. I was barking for a show like 2 weeks ago. We had about like 8 people, but that room just makes it feel like really inviting.
Yeah.
I feel like for both audience and comics.
Yeah.
Because you could see everyone there. It's not like the lights too bright or something.
Yeah.
You could see everyone enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and a lot of young people too.
Yes.
Very like university student age people, and they're fun. They just want to have a laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They know what they signed up for.
Yeah. I love it. I'm hoping to get a lot more spots out of that place. I think it's obviously pretty competitive with the barking. Everyone wants to do it, but it's awesome. That club's the one of the few clubs that I know that you can actually do barking for. I mean, do you know any other clubs?
Rodney's. The only thing with Rodney's is you have to bark 5 people for 5 minutes.
You have to get 5 people in the door.
Yeah.
I would say that's nearly impossible.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even like you can combine the other ones. So it's like every time you bark, you have to get 5 there.
So it's not as a group has to get 5, it's individually.
Yes.
Well, that's crazy.
I know. Because that's why
there's not the same foot traffic there either.
No, it's pretty dead. That's why it's really rough. That's why St. Mark's, because you only have to get 6 for 3 barkers, which is really good.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, we got 10 in last night, which was...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
On a Monday?
Yeah.
What time was that?
The 9:30.
Oh, yeah. That 9:30 usually gets packed.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Tried a few new bits too, which hit...
Nice.
Well, yeah. So, no, that was good. I like St. Mark's a lot.
Yeah. That was... So, I did my graduation there, my class graduation at St. Mark's, and I remember I did it about 10 months ago, and I remember sitting in that green room and being like, I have to get back here. I can't not do this now. And then I just did my first show 2 weeks ago, and that was like a circling around moment for me. I got to put my name on the wall. Like, it was a really cool moment.
Where do you put your name on the wall?
There's chalk there. You just put your name on there. Just don't let Danny or Alex.
What are they saving it for the big boys, are they?
Yeah. I put you could see it. I put my name all the way at the top of the wall, so no one could erase it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well done, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Well, yeah, you're certainly improving, like, drastically.
Thank you, man.
You've been obviously writing.
Yeah.
You
I
write
write sometimes. Yeah.
And then your trick seems to be just going hard and fast with the mics.
Yeah. Because I feel like you could work out your material better through the mics.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you're writing and it's strictly writing, you could spend 6 hours on it, and then when you do it at a mic, you're like, fuck, why is none of this working? Well, it's because you weren't doing it at mics. You could have all that material there. It's just, finding that little stuff. And maybe it hinders me because I'm not able to write as much. That might be an issue, is I don't have that much time to write, so I'm just spending all the time I do at mics, and then when I have like a little thing, I'll be able to kind of work it out, have a premise, try and get a punchline. But then there's also, I gotta get more organized, because there's bits that I have that work, and I'm like, fuck, I need to do them at shows now. And I've just been doing them at mics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to do the transition from like a new bit and then bring it onto a show, because on a show you kind of want to do the tried and true and put on a good performance, especially if you're not getting them all the time. Yeah, you want to really polish your good stuff. Yeah, definitely. But it's fun though, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. I mean, you're right. It really is a drug. It is. It's also the most I've ever felt like a sense of community with anything I've ever done. Yeah.
I love the gym, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I heard someone say, I think there's a different level of community because the amount we bomb all together and we've seen each other bomb is, I think, what brings all of us closer as just friends, as fellow comics, you know? Yeah.
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 There's something to it, eh? There is definitely something to lining up in the trenches together and fucking
Definitely.
eating shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a certain camaraderie that is born. And also, there's just some really good people.
Definitely.
You know, just some good people that you want to hang out with and want to spend time with and learn from. And there's also people that you don't want to hang out with after.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It's such a mixed bag. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some definitely psychopaths where it's like, all right, good seeing you. I'll see you around the next time. Yeah.
So what is the most trouble a guy like you has been in your life?
Probably the time with my ex-girlfriend. That was like the worst.
Really?
Never jail or anything like that. It's never gotten that bad, but yeah, that was the worst trouble I've ever been in.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that would have been like.
I don't even, like, it's hard to think back on it. It was so bad.
Really?
I mean, it's easy to laugh about now, but I was so fucked up for like a year. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
And
Yeah.
I was telling you, so I was getting into fights at that school, and
Were you fighting the autistic kids?
no.
We're all autistic.
Yeah. No. So I kept dating her after this. I was so stupid.
Oh,
kept
you
dating.
didn't.
I did.
You
yeah.
didn't.
I know.
What the
I know. It's bad. I kept dating her after that.
Because she was giving you pussy.
Yes. Yeah.
You got addicted, didn't you?
Yeah. And then I cheated on her with because I was like, fuck it. She put all this shit on me, and this girl, she invited me back to her place. She was, I mean, beautiful, like beautiful girl, and she was like the prettiest girl in the high school. For 400 kids, I don't know if that's saying much, but yeah. I had a crush on her since the first time I saw her. We always had classes together and stuff. And then she invited me back to her place. First time I ever smoked weed was at her place, and then we hooked up. And then I told one of my buddies, and then it just blew up out of proportion. And then she found out, got into a huge fight with me, was like pushing me and shoving me in the lunchroom classroom. And I was like, bro. And so, this is a part that I'm missing from the story. One of my buddies had a crush on the same girl and was trying to hook up with her. And I kind of took that, and I hooked up with her first. And he was trying to hook up with her for months. And then for me, it was like that. And I was like, I'm not going to tell him. And then I told one of his friends, and his friends told him. And he was fuming about it. And then that started a whole issue. So I got into a fight with him, and then got into a fight with my ex-girlfriend.
Jesus.
I know.
But he's fuming because you stole his crush.
I know, which
It's so dumb.
I know. It's so stupid. And it's like the girl didn't even want to hook up with him. So it's like, why are you mad at me that she doesn't want to hook up with you? So stupid.
I've had friends like that.
Yeah.
In the past, yeah, friend, like if there's been a girl that's like interested in me or interested in another friend, and then someone else has been interested in her, it's almost like he's claimed dibs on her because he liked her first.
Yeah.
Which is just bullshit.
It's so stupid.
You don't own them.
Exactly.
Just because you liked them doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, the bro code can only go so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the election?
Let's not talk about that.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, I'm a Trump guy. You don't have to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a right wing
Well, listen, my father's a business owner, so he's happy
Yeah.
because it was rough for a long time. For the past 4 years has been rough for him.
Why?
Just inflation.
Okay.
He went from making a lot, so he used to own a construction company. He used to go from making a lot of money from construction. And then because of all the surplus and how much materials cost, literally tripled within the past 4 years.
Wow.
Material cost and workers cost and just all that stuff. Then it went from the materials being too expensive to the clients not being able to pay because they have so much in debt with us. And then he had to eventually shut the company down. All of it has to do with inflation. And it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So his whole livelihood now is gone.
Well, he still has, so that was his, like, he had that as a main job because he stopped being a residential manager.
Yeah.
And it went sideways the past 4 years. And now he's back to doing residential managing, which, I mean, he's making good money. So it's like he can't really complain about it. But he owns a daycare in Bay Ridge, 2 daycares. And those are rough as well because rent costs go up big time. They go from like, he was paying $7,000 a month with 3 other people, but like $7,000 a month for the daycare, and now it's probably gone up to like 12 or 13. So that's the issue.
Wow.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough gig, man. Everything has gotten expensive. Everything in the whole world, like property prices, construction prices. I don't know how people are doing it.
I know.
Good on them if you are.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just going to get to a point where no one can afford it. I mean, it's probably not going to happen in a city like this. There's so much money here, but
I know. What I'm wondering is, so I think it's weird, but my mind goes to sports. Like with all these contracts that they're handing out, they're like worth hundreds of millions of dollars. When inflation goes down, that's going to hit them hard.
You think?
Because they just signed the Mets just signed a guy, and he's getting paid $51 million a year. Insane. But when
I mean, he'll be okay if the
he'll
inflation
be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the team's gonna be.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah. That's a fucking lot of money to play. What, for 1 year?
No, 15 years. So he's getting $765 million over the course of 15 years.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
So he gets $50 million a year?
$50 million a year.
For 15 years.
15 years.
How do they even know he's going to be viable for 15 years?
So he's 26 years old.
So is that pretty normal
Young.
to have a career up to your
Very
40 in baseball?
Yeah.
Can you be in your 50s in baseball?
You could be in your 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like a generational talent. He's like the Messi.
He's a freak.
Yeah, he's just insane. Like he's
batter or bowler or
batter.
Okay.
Yeah, he started when he was started in the MLB at 18, and that's not heard of. Like you start when you're like 25 in the MLB because they have the minor leagues. So underneath they have AAA, AA, and single A, and usually players have to work through that. And he was so good that went from single A all the way up to the MLB at 18. Won his first World Series at 18.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. And that feels like shit because I'm 21. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? This guy's winning World Series out here.
Dude, nice. You'll make that in comedy one day.
Yeah, hope
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Freaks. There's so much money in this country.
There is a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't have any of it.
No, dude. Me neither. Me neither. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to go to an American football game as well. I've never done American football.
Well, you're not missing much with the sports teams that are out here right now.
Really?
We're really bad
Why?
in football. The Jets and the Giants are like probably the 2 worst teams in football. Yeah. And that's how it's been for like 10 years, 11 years.
Can they not afford to get good players?
I think it's just a problem with the ownership. Bad ownership for both teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they not turn over coaches every year? Like, what do they?
Yeah, the Jets just fired their head coach and then fired their GM in the same year.
Wow.
Yep.
And once they lose those sorts of jobs, are they getting jobs in other places, or are their careers done?
Sometimes they'll get like an assistant coach position, and then they'll work their way back in.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can be the opposite, where that's it for their career,
Yeah.
which sucks for them.
Are they making big money?
Not compared to the players, probably like $500,000 a year.
Wow. That's still...
It's great money, but you're also a head coach for an NFL team.
Yeah.
Your team's worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you have to think of it that way. They're getting like scraped compared to the NFL players.
Are they making most of their money from like advertising from the games and stuff and merch? Like what are they... And I guess ticket sales as well, they must make a fortune.
I think... So a lot of it, I know how baseball works with their stuff. They have regional sports networks. So SMY is a regional sports network for the Mets. And then the Yankees have YES. And how they get paid is through those advertisers. So usually those sports teams, they have those contracts with those networks. And they get paid 800, 900 million a year just off of those. That's where they make majority of their money, is through those TV deals. Yeah. Because they're getting huge these TV companies making way more money off these advertisers. So when they're broadcasting the game and stuff,
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild, man.
What's the game over in Australia?
Cricket.
That's it?
Cricket, AFL, Australian Football League.
Gotcha. That always looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a fast-moving game.
Yeah.
Kicking, handballing.
Yeah.
And what else do we have that's exclusively Australian? I think that's about it.
Really?
We play all the sports. So we play. We got American football. We play a little bit.
Really?
Not much. I played a little bit of baseball in school, just for school, not not like for clubs or anything.
Yeah.
Well, like swimming, volleyball, fuck everything, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're a huge sports country.
Okay.
We always do pretty good in the Olympics too. I don't know what we came. I don't know what we came this year, but
I know America's good at everything except soccer. Women's soccer, that's different. But like our soccer team is bad every year.
Okay. We came fourth on the medal table.
Oh,
in
wow.
Paris.
Okay.
I mean, we've got 27 million people.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, you think about, what was I don't know.
How many are in New York? I think there must be like 20.
There's 20 million people in New York.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Manhattan alone has 8 or 9 million, and then New York, like all the region, is 20 million. We looked this up the other
insane.
day. It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Have you lived in New York your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brooklyn.
So you've always come into the city.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is like familiar territory for you.
Yeah. I know, so like more I know of Upper East, Upper West Side. Because when my father lived over, he lived over in Upper East Side on Park Avenue as a residential manager. Mm-hmm. At the time, I didn't know what Park Avenue was. And then looking back, I was like, damn, that was like a really dope spot. But I know Upper East, Upper West Side, a lot more. Brooklyn, I know like all of Brooklyn, basically. Queens, not really. Like, I really stick to Brooklyn and Manhattan. I don't really go out to Queens.
Aren't you moving out there, though?
I know.
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird.
Yeah. And who are you going to be living with?
My uncle.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Mate, I think you're going to love it. What part of Queens?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, I went out to Astoria.
Oh, it's sick over there.
Yeah, it's sick. And it's like 3 or 4 stops from Manhattan. It's nothing.
Yeah. I did a show out there once, Toodles in French.
Okay.
Really cool spot. It's a really nice restaurant, and then in the back they have a bunch of seating and stuff, and you just put a mic and a stand there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But that place, so cool. Astoria, that whole the whole place is like a community. That was the first time I was in Astoria ever, and I
Wow.
went to school in Queens.
Wow.
It's insane. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Are you actually? So you actually? Okay. How did you have to go through Manhattan to go to school in Queens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'd have to go.
Why the fuck did you go to a school in Queens?
It was the only one that accepted me.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So how long was your commute every day?
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
By
On the
yourself?
School bus.
School bus takes you the whole way.
Yeah, a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of people from my area went to that school in Bay Ridge. So it was like 30 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the school then organizes the bus.
Yeah.
So everyone, what if there's only 2 kids that wanted to go to school? Like, how would you get them to school? Would they organize a bus for them as well?
Probably.
So
Put them on a small bus.
does the bus come past your house?
Yeah, they pick you up right
So
outside.
do you have to register for the bus? Like, how does it work?
I think, yeah, my parents did all that stuff. I don't really remember, but I think it's like you have to send in paperwork and stuff to the school saying that you allow your kid to take the bus.
That's fucking
Or you could do the opposite where you could just take public transport and the school will give you MTA cards that the city pays for.
right.
Yeah. So it's either or, but then I would
Can
still...
you ride the subway if you're like a little kid?
Yeah, I mean, in high school you can. Middle school, I don't think you're allowed to. But the issue with going out to school in Queens is like it's easier to take the bus and because I would have to take the 7 train, then transfer to the R at 42nd Street, which is, again, it's an hour and a half. So it's like, would I rather be
Just rather
comfortable?
sit on a bus the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bully everyone.
I know, right? Yeah.
Get chicks pregnant. Fucking crazy,
I know.
dude. So how you doing getting on shows? You seem to be getting on a few more these days.
It's been quiet the past few weeks. Past 2 weeks just been quiet. I don't know if it's me or it's just because it's holidays, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's been fun. I've been doing some shows here and there. They're a lot of fun. Some with no audience, some with some.
Yeah. No as in none at all?
None. Like it's basically an open mic.
Wow.
But listen, it's stage time.
Yeah.
You get some that are like 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, I can't do an open mic at 10 p.m., so I'll take this.
Yeah.
I'll just fuck around.
Yeah.
Other comics there, so
Yeah.
you could still make people laugh.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And what's been your favorite mic in the city so far?
Oh, wow. I'd say, so I'll list my top 3.
Yeah.
So I'll say Plan B. That one I really like. I hit it twice, but it's probably one of my favorite ones. Plan B, what is it? Avenue B. What's
That's the
the
same
bar
one.
called?
Yeah, Avenue B.
No, the bar's called something.
I think it is called Avenue B.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. And then my second one, I really like Fear City a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I do. It's all right, you know what? I can't do it. All right, Fear City and then Grizzly Pear Midtown. That 8 o'clock on the Tuesdays, which they're not having today, but that one's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's like a show.
It is. I mean, I have to do like real material there. It's
Yeah.
like I can't dick around there.
No.
It's too much of an opportunity to pass up. And the 10 o'clock's always a fun hang on that same night. And probably my favorite one is Mondays at Broadway with Janice.
Really?
It's just insane. I love it so much.
Really?
Yeah.
What time is that one?
4:45.
Nice.
Yeah. She's gone for 2 weeks, but it's like,
So
I don't even know what to do Mondays because she's gone.
Are they
It's
just
like-
not doing the mic on Mondays?
No, she's still doing it. She just took off for 2 weeks to go see family. But
Okay.
that one's my favorite one. By far.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was she gonna get someone to fill it?
No.
She's gonna shut it down.
For the week, yeah.
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 Are you going away over the holidays? What are you doing?
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Same old shit.
Yep. Working.
It's most people are going back to where they came from.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know anyway, they're just hanging out.
I think that worries me because there's probably going to be no mics next week.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anyone here because majority of comics are not from New York either.
Majority of people in New York are not from New York.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
most people I meet are not from here.
Yeah. Everyone comes up to me because some people hear my accent and they're like, "You're unique," because I don't hear a lot of people with that. But I'm like, it's just my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where I grew up, everyone has this accent.
Really?
Even when, like little kids have this. Like when I was going to elementary school, there would be like Vinny's and Tony's, and we all sounded like this.
Really?
I'm not even Italian. I'm Irish, and I just have this accent, you know? It's insane.
So are you full Irish, like both sides of your family?
So I'm Irish and Scottish, and then on my dad's side, I'm Jewish, but Jewish people wouldn't consider me Jewish because it's so far down the line. It's my great-grandfather. He was Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't technically count.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's in the bloodline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. There's lots of there must have been millions of Irish that immigrated here because it seems like everyone's either Irish or Jewish. In New York.
Irish, Jewish, or Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polish people too.
Yeah.
A lot of Polish in the 1920s. They came over to
Why?
Ellis Island. Don't know. I know a lot of it. There were a lot in 1940, like a lot of Jewish, Polish people.
It must have been so easy to immigrate then.
No, not at all. Have you been to Ellis Island before?
Is that where the Statue of Liberty is?
Yeah, so it's the island right next to it, and that's where everyone immigrated. It's really good history.
That's where
Like
they
stuff.
had to like stay there for a while until
Yeah.
they.
Yeah, if you were like sick at all, you would take a boat all the way to New York from, let's say, Ireland. A boat all the way to New York. So that would be like 3 or 4 days. You're just on a boat, cramped, and you would have to sleep on the floors on the top deck, you know? And you would get there, and if you were sick at all, you were put on a boat back to your country.
No.
Yes. So you could have been there for 3 days on a boat from Ireland to New York and been denied access
Jesus Christ.
just because you had a cold. Yeah.
Mate, I'm pretty sure I need to look this up.
Yeah.
When we had our convicts,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they were on a boat for 9 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I know a story about my great-grandfather on my mother's side. He was in the IRA in Northern Ireland.
No shit.
Yeah. He was in the IRA. And then he got a bounty on his head in Northern Ireland for either putting a bomb or shooting one of the British soldiers. He had a bounty on him and then had to come to America. He had like 7 kids there. Came to
Wow.
America, had another 7 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what happened with his kids back in Ireland?
They're still there. I have family there. I've never seen them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was your uncle?
No, my great-grandfather.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Yep.
What did he have the bounty on his head for?
Something to do with the IRA.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I know about that history.
You don't know anything. You don't know specifically what it is.
No. But my family's always been like that. Like then my uncle on my mother's side, he was part of an Irish gang in New York and in the 70s. And my grandfather kept telling him, get out of it because he was a foot soldier. So he wasn't like a big guy. He was like, beating up people for money and stuff like that. And he beat up the wrong person. It was like one of the head people or a guy above him. And then they told him to come to Sunset Park, killed him.
No.
At Sunset Park, yeah. There's a news clipping out there somewhere in my family with the Carney last name. And he was murdered at Sunset Park.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yep.
That's fucking insane.
Yep. I mean, people say like, oh yeah, the Mafia actually made neighborhoods safer. Not at all.
You don't think
it was
so?
horrible. No. Because my father, he grew up in like where the Mafia had their foot in everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was in like Gravesend, Bensonhurst, and that's where they were. My father said he saw his first dead body when he was 9, and it was his best friend. And it was
What?
because the best friend got killed because they were having like to get into the Mafia, you have to kill someone. Just a 9-year-old they killed. Yeah. And you could look back. There's some videos online from like the 70s and 80s about them doing news on like 13th Avenue and all that stuff. And there's just like, they would have dead bodies on the streets, throw cardboard on top of the dead bodies. No one would clean them up. It's insane what happened there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any family that were like a part of any of that?
This just my uncle, but my father knew a lot of people that were in it. Not on purpose, just through going to parties and stuff. There used to be this one place on 89th between 4th and 5th in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And it was owned by, it was a nightclub, and it was owned by Sammy the Bull. And Sammy the Bull, he was part of one of the families, and he was a hitman for the families. And one of the people my father met in that nightclub was, his name was Thomas Patera. And Thomas Patera, his nickname was Tommy Karate. He was always a nice guy to my father. But my father was looking through the news one day, newspaper one day, and he saw Tommy Karate, head honcho for, I think it was Genovese or one of these families. He was a hitman and killed over 100 people.
Wow.
Would cut up bodies in the basement of this nightclub. And no one had any clue. And my father used to rub shoulders with them just as being friends with another guy, which is insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's documentaries on Tommy Karate, all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Crazy times.
definitely.
The first fleet,
Mm-hmm.
when they were coming to Australia, they were on the boat for 252 days.
Holy shit. Wow.
Making stops at Tenerife, Rio de Janeiro, and Cape Town to replenish supplies. However, later voyages could be shorter, taking between 3 and 4 months
That's insane.
once the colony became self-sufficient. So imagine that.
And it was owned by Britain, right?
Yeah, we were colonized by the British.
Gotcha. Okay.
They weren't the first ones to step foot in Australia. The Dutch
Mhm.
were very first, I believe, and then I think the French
Oh, wow.
set foot on Australia as well.
Okay.
But then the British were the first ones to go, we're going to take this.
How was that given up to the people?
It wasn't really given up. It was just taken from the indigenous people. There was indigenous that lived there.
Gotcha. Oh, so it's like similar to what happened here.
Exactly the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then there were fights and we did some pretty nasty things.
Gotcha.
Like we had indigenous on Tasmania,
Really?
which is like the small island on the bottom of Australia.
Yeah.
And they did this thing where they like went from one side to the other and did a massive line of people
Mm-hmm.
and then walked the whole way up and rounded up all the indigenous off the island. And then who they didn't kill, they shipped like the last few hundred off onto like this one tiny little island
Really?
where they
Wow.
like kept them there until they...
That's insane.
Yeah. Cruel.
Yeah.
It's funny how, well, not funny. Funny is not the right term, but it's interesting how the white man has had such disdain for like the local indigenous man in so many different parallels of life in so many different countries.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think a lot of it had to do with just destroy and conquer?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just, like, how can you claim it's your land, which you're trying to inherit, help, set up a farm or whatever, when there's these people walking through it and saying, no, fuck you, it's ours.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, I'm just going to kill you. I got a
Yeah.
gun, you've got a spear, I'm going to fucking shoot you.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I bought this.
Yeah. And then it also, if you go back to like the Native Americans here, they used to fight for land before we got here as well.
Mm. Oh,
So then
they
you-
were crazy, man.
They were. So it's like, how do you, if they're fighting over each other's land, then we were doing the same thing,
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't think anyone was in the right,
No.
But
But I think that in the native indigenous in Australia, and from what I've read here as well, like these guys believed that no one can own the land. Like land ownership as a concept wasn't even a thing.
an idea, yeah.
So like when they were like signing I think in America they had some sort of treaty where they, in many cases, where they would like give the American Indians like a deal, like, you know, we'll take this land and we'll give you this.
Yeah.
But when they signed it, I don't think they even knew what they were giving up.
Yeah.
Like I said, they just didn't have the concept of what it was, like that they were giving away something, because to them they just believed it was everyone's. Like there's no man can own land, which is kind of true.
Yeah.
You can't fucking own a land. Like you
Yeah.
can put it on a piece of paper and say, and get a surveyor to survey it and be like, yep, this is mine. But really, you don't own it.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you're gonna die. It's
Yeah.
a piece of paper. Its only meaning is the meaning that we put to it. If you take away that meaning, no one owns shit.
Yeah. It's temporary lines.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think when the Dutch came here, they didn't own a lot of land, but it's when Britain came here, so I don't know if you know the story, Wall Street, they put up that wall to keep the British people out.
No.
Yes, because they knew that they would come eventually. And they only owned a small part of Manhattan.
The British.
The Dutch.
Okay.
And so the Dutch were here first. They were in like Battery Park, like that part of Manhattan. That's the only place they own. And then up from Wall Street was all trees, forest, swamp area, all that stuff. And then they built that wall just to keep the British people out. And like, let's say the Native Americans wanted to kill them, you know, to keep them out as well. But what they weren't thinking is, oh, the Brits have ships. And then they just came on the shore and took over everything. And then I think that's where the conquering part came through, was like then Britain just took over all of the East Coast after that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, America's got a crazy history.
Yeah.
And like the War of Independence that you guys fought against the Brits,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
We never did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should have or not. I kind of like that we're aligned with the British still. I feel like that's a part of our heritage, part of our ancestry. And
Yeah. Irish don't feel like that.
they
The
don't-
Irish.
No. Well, it depends what part of Ireland, I guess, you're from.
Even Northern, they don't even want to be a part of England.
I've heard that.
Yeah. And it's...
I don't know how they feel as a whole, but I've met plenty of people from Northern Ireland that think it's probably time just to be like one island again.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty stupid, like, why they own Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Just give up the land. Ireland's there.
Yeah.
They're a country, so then just give them that top of the land.
Yeah. I still think there must just be greed in all this. Like they're not going to fucking give up land willy-nilly, are they? No country is.
I guess so. Especially, like, England really has really nothing now. Compared to what they had, like, 300 years ago, 400 years ago.
Yeah.
They conquered half the world, and now they have basically just a small, tiny land.
They conquered a lot. There's still a lot of countries that are still aligned with the British, like the Commonwealth countries, which is what we call it.
Yeah.
We have a Commonwealth Games. Do you think they were probably like the next best conquerors after the Spanish?
I think so. The French were pretty good, too.
Yeah, the French colonized a fucking lot. Commonwealth countries, 56 member states. That's a lot. I think there's only 200 countries in the world.
Yeah.
So that's a quarter of the world is still colonized by the British.
Yeah.
In some, I don't know if they're still like, I don't know enough about any of this, but I don't know if they're still like identify as like being British, like, or if they're, you know, or if they're like wanting to get their own freedom. I don't know where they're at, but that's a fucking lot.
Yeah.
The Spanish were crazy. The conquistadors, how they went through Central and South America, and
Yeah. Just raped and pillaged.
in those times too,
Yeah.
like with horses carrying cannons and
I know.
those gun, you know, old like flint loaded gunpowder, whatever you call them, flintlock guns. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Oh well, man, we better wrap this up in a second.
Okay.
Give me your Instagram plug.
Maybe James Patrick. That's me. At maybe James Patrick.
There we go, man. Well, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to have to do this again. It's
Of course.
been awesome seeing you grow. You're growing with me at the same time, so it's awesome. And thanks for coming on, man.
Of course, anytime. Thank you, Cam.
All good. Catch you on the next one, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Going After It with Cam Bird. Produced by Ryan Rizzuti and music by the very talented Brian Rigby. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell. Take care, everyone, and if you can, get after it.